Are you a Christian songwriter wishing you could be heard by the right people in Nashville? Yeah, we get it. You've been writing for years, but you have no idea how to be heard, how to get your songs out there, or how to connect your talent with opportunities. You feel stuck and wonder if you'll ever get a real break. NCS Bootcamp is your chance to be heard by taking your songwriting to a level you've only dreamed of. It gives you hands-on, personalized coaching and mentoring to help you think and write like a professional Christian songwriter determined to impact the world with your songs. If you're ready to empower your songwriting dreams, go to NashvilleChristianSongwriters.com/bootcamp to book your free songwriting breakthrough strategy call today. Become the songwriter you were born to be with NCS Bootcamp.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Song Revolution podcast, brought to you by Nashville Christian Songwriters. Nashville Christian Songwriters exists to empower Christian songwriters worldwide. I'm John Chisum, and this podcast exists to bring you valuable songwriting insights, inspiration, interviews, and just all around good fun with some of the greatest songwriters, producers, arrangers, artists, and creatives, and beyond. You can find out a whole lot more about us at NashvilleChristianSongwriters.com. Hey everybody, thanks for joining me on the show today. I have a great one for you. A couple of weeks ago, I got to sit down with my amazing friend, Jackie Patillo. Jackie and I have a lot of history together at Star Song Communications back in the day when we were working with Phillips, Craig and Dean, Petra, Newsboys, so many different people back in that time. And Jackie is now the president of the Gospel Music Association. The Gospel Music Association is known as the GMA here in and around Nashville. And Jackie is doing a bang-up job as the leader of that organization. They are actually they actually work with up and coming generations in songwriting, performance, and just the entire record music business industry. And Jackie is she's a veteran. She's just amazing in this whole industry, and she's such a sweetheart. I love her to pieces. And the GMA is actually in residence at Lipscomb University, and they didn't pay me for an endorsement, but they have some amazing things going on. So if you would like to further your exposure and your education in the recording industry, songwriting, performance, all of that, Lipscomb is a great option. And you can connect with Jackie right there on the campus. And that's where they have the Dove Awards and the Immerse Conference every year. And Jackie is she's just the best. I love you, Jackie. Thank you for sitting down with me for a little while to be on the show. So you guys listening, you just sit back and enjoy my sweet friend, Jackie. Jackie Patillo, welcome to the show.
I am so glad to see you, John Chisum.
No,
we go way back.
We do. I mean, it was.
Don't tell.
Don't even say.
Well, it's so far back.
Yeah, well, there are people that are like still alive from back in the day. A few. Old as Methuselah. Okay, so it was the late 80s, early
Yes,
90s.
it was.
And we wound up together at Star Song.
We were at Star Song.
Yeah.
And just to set the record straight, John brought Phillips, Craig, and Dean to Star Song.
Ta-da!
And nobody knew who these guys were. They weren't called Phillips, Craig, and Dean.
No.
I think we just called them the Three Amigos for a while.
Did. I know. I did get a thank you on their first cassette.
Well, because we did acknowledge that you were the guy.
I know,
even though
right?
I ended up working with them.
And did a fabulous job.
It was quite an experience.
25 years later, they're still rocking and rolling. And
They're still writing songs and singing. And Paul Mills, a producer, is now doing scores for movies.
I know. I can only imagine.
Awesome.
Etc.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing, Jackie.
Yeah, we're still
How many records did you wind up doing with them, with PCD?
Gosh, maybe 4.
Yeah.
Including
Wow.
Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah. One of my favorite stories from back in the day is, these guys were pastors.
Mm-hmm.
They were not polished studio artists, but they were hilarious. They were just funny. And Randy would say to Paul, "Let her rip, tater chip." That was his way.
Totally
He
do.
set that southern drawl. And it's just to say, okay, go ahead and roll the tape. And so I decided, you know what? There's just so much personality in that. Let's just keep it on. Let's keep it in the record. And so come to find, they do concerts and people in the audience would yell out, "Let her rip, tater chip."
So fun. Yeah, we had Dan on the show earlier this year, and so it's good to reconnect with him. And I need to connect with Sean and Randy again and kind of check in on them. They're all still in the local church. They're all still very plugged in.
Well, it's always amazing that they could live in separate states.
Yeah.
But have this unique calling and unity together.
Yeah.
It's nothing like when God calls something and puts something together. It doesn't have to look like anything you've ever seen. Doesn't have to sound like anything you've ever heard. But when God does it, there's just a certain, and adds his anointing to it. There's just a power.
I know, right?
And these guys, their harmonies were just amazing. The songwriting was superb. But their commitment to their church, they knew who they were. They had a creative identity and they had a spiritual calling that they never got confused about, no matter how popular.
Cool. So cool. Now I know Dan's a grandpa. I'm not sure about Sean and Randy. I just haven't been in touch with them enough, but
I'm not sure. Here you go talking about how old we're.
I'm sorry. It just sort of happens. I can't help it. But who else did you work with?
Gosh, when we were at Star Song, I'm trying to think. I did a group called Sierra, but then, and I went to the Benson Company right after Star Song. And that's where I was able to sign Natalie Grant, and we did her first record.
What?
Natalie was from Seattle and had come to town, and she was an assistant to Pastor Chris Williamson at Strong Tower Bible Church.
Who knew? Here in town, she'd come
in Nashville.
Oh my gosh!
Mitchell Soleric was her manager and still is after all these years. And so it was really a privilege to look back and go, wow, I signed Natalie Grant and did her first record and introduced her to Bernie.
Isn't that something? Matchmaker to boot.
It was match made in heaven.
There you go. Yeah. Power couple.
Yeah.
Let's go back to your story. I don't want to miss your story too much, and then we'll spend a lot of time talking about GMA. But so you went from Star Song to Benson, and then to Integrity, right? Right after that.
Yes, Mobile, Alabama.
And which I was down in Mobile from 92 to 96.
I loved the job, hated living in Mobile.
I know, right? Mobile's not the end of the earth, but you can see it from there. But we have so many great friends down in Mobile, and I wound up serving Christchurch Mobile for 6 years.
Oh.
Right? And so
that's right.
Yeah. So we have deep roots. Our daughter was born there. So, lovely people that we adore are still down in Mobile. But it's definitely different than Nashville.
It's definitely different. I moved into Mobile in 2000 to be the general manager of their gospel division. So I worked with Israel Houghton, Joe Pace, and Lisa McClendon. I did a record with Lisa McClendon, a neo-soul artist. That was fun. So I'd always had a heart to work in gospel. I'd had this CCM career here in Nashville, saw the need and the opportunity in the gospel world, and it really was my heart's desire. And I got that opportunity when I went to Integrity and headed up that division there. So I was there for 5 years before I moved on to Verity Records as the VP of A&R and Artist Development at Verity, where I got to work with some of the biggest names in gospel music. In New York.
Yeah, who were you working with?
Kirk Franklin, Donnie McClurkin, and Fred Hammond. And yeah, it was quite an eye-opening experience in many ways. Just, you can imagine the cultural shift from Mobile to New York.
Wow. But did you feel like you were in your element?
In some ways. In some ways, it was definitely an adventure.
Yeah.
And it was stretching and in a lot of positive ways.
You live in the city?
I lived right across through the tunnel in West New York, New Jersey. So I took the boat and the bus to work every day.
Every day.
Yeah, took the ferry. Because,
How fun.
Public transportation is way different.
Yeah.
In New York. So.
What street were your offices on?
Madison.
Well, there you go. Dang, girl.
Madison.
There you go.
Building,
working with some of the top gospel. Wow.
Yeah. Marvin Sapp.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome.
These are great names. These are
awesome.
great artists. So.
It's really a privilege.
And so many artists have soul roots. I mean, Aretha.
Oh,
May she rest in peace.
You know, she's a GMA Hall of Famer.
I just don't doubt it at all, and she should be.
Yeah.
That's
deep
awesome.
gospel roots. That's
Did you ever
for
meet
sure.
her?
Never met her.
No.
We inducted her into the Hall of Fame, and she sent a video acceptance speech. Yeah, but I didn't get to meet her.
The Queen. That's the Queen. Wow. So, Verity. You ended with Verity and came back to Nashville.
Verity actually brought me back to Nashville, which was awesome. And then I got downsized because, you know, the music industry has been shrinking.
No. Really?
Amazing. I mean, it used to be when we were at Star Song, we'd have those sales conferences, and our boss, Dan Mosier, would tell the salesmen, you know, stack them high and watch them fly. Well, now we don't have stores to stack them high in anymore.
There's got to be some equivalent for streaming. You know, I don't know.
But yeah,
hit the stream and start to dream.
It's a whole new world.
It is a whole new world. It really is. But you know, it's still working for people, and you know, we're teaching a lot of people build your tribe. You know, write the best that you possibly can. Go through our boot camp and learn to write and build your tribe. You know, and connect.
So that's the good news. No matter how much or how challenging commerce side of it has been, people are still consuming music more than ever.
Yeah. Totally.
And people are still creating music more than ever.
So true.
It's the monetization that has kind of been topsy-turvy and is coming together a little bit easier now.
I think so.
But, God's still birthing new music.
More than ever.
Creativity is still king.
More than ever, yeah.
Still amazed in, you know, hearing a song from a songwriter hot off the heart has always been my favorite thing. There's nothing like hearing an artist or writer say, what do you think about this? And having that first listen to knowing, oh my gosh, the world is going to be singing this song. Being able to put words in the mouth of the church to extol our King. It's just, there's nothing more powerful than that.
Nothing to me. I will never forget, you know, the first time I walked in a room and heard people singing the words God had inspired in my life and heart, and it's really pretty amazing. So, yeah.
The Bible says that we will sing a new song, and we're hearing new songs all the time.
More than ever, and in the last 2.5 years since we've had NCS, I'm seeing more and more, Jackie, a groundswell of song. It's not going away. It's like it's getting bigger. Yeah.
Technology's made it easier for people to capture their songs too. So it's not just, you know, there are not so many hidden treasures, you know. Technology, the fact that you can record so easily in your bedroom on your iPhone or your, you know, laptop, has really brought to the forefront a lot of great songs. But kudos to you for investing in up-and-coming songwriters and helping those that feel called to write music and express their faith, because it's a lifeline. Music is a universal language, and it is the only thing that, gospel music is not defined by its style, but by its message. And so to have this vast array of styles from hip hop to Southern gospel, black gospel, and CCM, and on, to be able to support people who feel called to express music in these various styles, I just love it. And so thank you for dedicating your gifts and talents to helping people hone their craft.
Thanks, Jackie. I don't feel like I have a choice. I really feel compelled. We came back to Nashville a few years ago, not totally knowing what we were going to do, kind of reminiscent of the first time we stumbled into this town in 1983 to take a church job that fell through. $40, no place to live. That's when I met Gary McSpadden and Bill Gaither.
Wow.
Yeah, just through a guy that I don't even really know much anymore, but a mutual acquaintance. And Gary listened to a couple of my songs. And I promised God must have stopped his ears up because it had to be horrible. And they signed me to a contract, and a year later I was hired because I'd gotten 19 songs recorded and I was aggressive.
You were on Gaither's publishing company?
Yeah, Arios.
Oh, wow,
do you remember
awesome.
Arios?
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
And then Gaither bought Half a Star Song, and then they promoted me to VP of Publishing. No business degree, probably no business doing it, but I was just so aggressive and loved writers. And I mean, the minute I got saved at 18, I knew the first thing I wanted to do was just write a love song for Jesus. And never knowing it would turn into all this and have the opportunity to encourage people around the world and to help them step into it with or without money, with or without record companies, with or without publishing deals, but just to fulfill their calling, which is what you do here at GMA. I mean, I was here at Immerse. We had a booth and watching all those hopefuls come through. So let's go back to you. My wife says I'm a conversational narcissist. So you notice how I got the conversation back on me there for a minute. But now we're going to put the spotlight back over on you.
Well, I've never done anything outside of supporting the creation of Christian and gospel music. I've always facilitated artistry. And Blackaby, I don't know if you remember, he did this Bible study called Experiencing God.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And one of his principles was find out where God is moving and join him.
Join him, yeah.
And that was kind of my A&R mantra, was just find out, look and see where God is moving. Whose hand is he on? And really identify talent like you would identify a symptom. It's like, wow, that person is attracting others. Yes. That person is infectious. That person is anointed, and the craftsmanship is above the bar. And so I've never done anything else but support artistry.
Awesome.
And so when I came to GMA, it was kind of like my relationships and my giftings kind of collided, because I didn't know anything about being the executive director of a nonprofit. I knew how to do live recordings, and so that parlayed into me knowing how to do an award show. And so now I produce the Dove Awards. Every 12 months they run it.
Every 12 months they come on. Those little wings just fly around again. Oh my God.
It's the ultimate. It's the ultimate compilation, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Because the Dove Awards is the only stage where you can hear all different styles of Christian and gospel music. It's that one time a year that we come together as a creative community and share the gospel to the world from this platform, because it's televised through TBN. Last year we had over 1.7 million viewers.
That's awesome.
And so from right here at the Allen Arena at Lipscomb University, we're able to capture and honor God's people and his message. When I first got here, because it was such a tall order, the Dove Awards, it's a big deal. It's a big job. I had to ask God about it. What's up with this Dove Awards thing? Are you really in this, And he gave me that scripture in Matthew 5 that said that we are to let our light so shine before men so they can see our good works and glorify the Father in heaven.
A good one.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that's an award show.
I thought you were going to quote like John or something where the heavens opened when Jesus was getting baptized and the Holy Spirit descended like a dove.
Yeah,
no, not that one.
Not that one.
Okay,
No, this
bad
one was
joke.
Matthew 5. This is it's okay to, I consider our artists like modern day Christian soldiers. They're making sacrifice. They're heeding a call. They're using their talents and gifting, and they're making sacrifice to spread the gospel through music. And they're on the front lines because it's more than a notion to live life on the road. And we get to set the stage and shine a light on those that are making the most impact over that particular year.
It's awesome.
And glorify the Father in heaven.
That's awesome. So you do the Doves, and you also do your conference.
And it's coming up on October the 16th.
It is, and I was going to mention that. I actually knew that.
And we want people to buy tickets and come.
I know, right? And it's fun. Well, so I want to talk about your events, but you are in residence here at Lipscomb University.
Yes.
And how did that happen? And what else is going on here that might be interesting to some of our listeners who might have children who want to go to a university that would be oriented towards Christian music, or maybe they want to.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? Let's put a plug in for Lipscomb.
Lipscomb is awesome. Dr. Lowry, the president of Lipscomb, is a man of great vision. And they not only have taken in the Gospel Music Association and our events, we hold our events here at Lipscomb, but they since started what they call their CEA. It's their Entertainment and Arts College. And Brown Bannister, which is Amy Grant's producer, I mean, he's a legend.
From the first.
Yeah, he's a legend in our world, is the head of their department. And it's just extraordinary, the creativity that they're drawing from people like... Steve Taylor
I thought you meant somebody else.
teaches film over there. And so between Brown overseeing the music department and all of the great talent that he's bringing in, I mean, he's bringing in current artists to teach the next generation. And so between Brown Bannister doing the music department and Steve Taylor overseeing their film development, their creative department is very, very
it's exploding,
awesome.
I bet.
Yeah, and it is exploding. So Lipscomb's a great place to go to university, and it's right here in the heart of Music City.
I know. We'll put a link to Lipscomb. For those who haven't heard of it, who might be interested, we'll put a link, in our show notes so they can check it out, as well as to the Gospel Music Association. So it's been quite the learning curve for you in these 7 years.
Yes.
So you do the Doves, which is televised and has to be timed down to the second. That's got to be just, I don't know, you're coloring your hair or something, you're not gray, but my goodness, I mean, that has got to turn every hair on your head white, right? I mean... Yeah,
it's more than a notion, but it's a labor of love. And when it's over, it's that deep sigh of relief, and we're just grateful for TBN and their partnership in producing the show, and our sponsors. We've had some great sponsors pull up alongside us, like Lifeway, Christian bookstores, Lifeway Worship and Christian bookstores. And we're just constant. Next year is going to be the 50th.
Oh my gosh,
And so,
that's
that's
awesome.
when the heat will really get turned up.
Yes, it will.
It'll be. We'll really pull out all the stops.
Yeah.
So
wow.
we also do GMA honors. We like to say here at GMA that we celebrate the past, present, and future. And we do the past by inducting 4 people into the GMA Gospel Music Hall of Fame every year, and honoring 4 people within our music community for their philanthropic endeavors. And so we've been inducting people into the Hall of Fame since 1964.
Wow, that's amazing. I was here last year when Amy was inducted, as well as Natalie for her.
Well, they were not inducted. Amy's been inducted for quite some time, but Natalie and Amy were honored for their philanthropy.
That's right.
Because, Natalie has really stood against human trafficking.
Mm-hmm. It's awesome.
It's been amazing. So, our artists they're more than just what you see on the stage.
Yeah.
They are putting their hands and feet to serving, in a lot of social ways as well. And we like to let people know.
Yeah, Amy has camps, right,
yes.
in the summer. And was that what she was honored for? I remember she sang, and she was like, she forgot El Shaddai. And it's like, come on, girl.
I think she was singing because we were inducting Bland Hair.
Oh, that's right. I'm getting it all mixed up. But I was there. And,
well, you were there.
It was good.
I saw Amy on
I
stage
saw
singing.
Amy sing. And,
and it was awesome.
So we're going to edit out this part.
Thank you.
We'll edit out my stupidity on this one.
It all starts running together.
Yeah. Well, let's talk then about, so you've got the Doves, which has got to be
and we do, we do GMA honors. We honor celebrate our legacy, and then we celebrate our future by speaking into the next generation through Immerse, our 3-day music training program, which you were at this year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sweet. So how many people kind of come to that generally? And
we get upwards to about 400 registrants. And Immerse is for anyone that has an ambition to hone their craft in music and or business. And we have a songwriting component. We have an artistry component. There are classes throughout the day. And we have artists that come and share their stories in the evening and perform in the evening.
And a competition.
There's a competition.
Right. So
yes.
people are kind of...
I hate calling it a competition, but I guess you have to...
We get it.
Yeah.
We get it. So you're you go through different rounds, and if you make it all the way through to the end, you win as a performer.
Right.
Or as a songwriter, right? There's a song that wins. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Great prizes.
Great prizes. Like, do they get to record a demo, or what are the prizes?
I don't know.
Don't know. Okay.
You have to edit that part.
We'll edit this part out too.
That's right.
Or we'll leave it in the comic relief.
Change from year to year.
I have a great producer. He'll edit.
Okay.
He'll make us sound great on this.
Prizes.
Bryant, you better make us sound great, buddy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So maybe we should pick back up then, since we I won't ask about the prizes, but did you say everything you'd like to say about Immerse as far as?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You can register at experienceimmerse.com for next year's Immerse.
Yeah, we'll put that in the show notes too, and try to get that number going.
Yeah.
Good.
Because we do that every 12 months too.
Yeah. Summertime event, and really a lot of fun, and a lot of I like the one I liked was when the songwriters who might not necessarily be the artist who sang their song, I forget what the name of that panel is, but they would sing their song, and they might not all be great singers, but it was awesome to hear the story behind the song and then have the writers perform it. And
that's the Tuesday night songwriter showcase. It's the most fun. And one of the things that we do demo derby. We do a lunch called Demo Derby. And so registrants can submit their demo. And we've got a couple of songwriters that will listen and critique it on the spot. So it can be a little nerve-wracking. Yeah. But you get an honest critique from an experienced, songwriter. And so that's always fun. And then one of the things that I do that I love is I do an open mic night at the end of Monday and Tuesday night. After all is said and done, it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock. We do an open mic. So anybody that wants to sing their song, they got 3 minutes. And I'm the narrator. So if you go over 3 minutes, bam, I'm the hook. Wow. Yeah. So it's a lot.
You're the real hook of the song.
I'm the real. But it's so much fun.
Yeah. I bet you have a heavy
open mic night.
I bet you have a heavy participation in that, don't you? Yeah.
All those late nighters still have a little energy left to sing their song.
I know, right? Well, okay, so you've got these great events that you're constantly planning for. Doves are coming up, then Immerse will be back next summer. And, the coordination alone, we do events too, much smaller. Ours are limited to 30, our NCS weekend intensives. But I know the work that goes into just getting all the marketing and the promotion and the coordination, the venue, all the talent, the clinicians. It is just an astounding amount of work. And people don't realize, what goes into
it's a lot.
Spreadsheets and all the emails and phone calls and, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It is, but my hat's off to, we're a very small team here at the GMA, and Justin Fratt is head of operations here. And
nice
I call
guy.
him Bionic because he is incredibly creative and administrative and personable, and he loves God and he loves people. Yeah. So it's amazing what we're able to accomplish. And then Alexandra is our head of marketing, and she's just a genius too when it comes to helping to get the word out on our limited budget. Yeah. But aside from our events, the GMA is also a membership association because it is important for us as a community of faith-based creative people to unite, for the sake of advocacy. The GMA serves as the voice of Christian and gospel music on Capitol Hill. And we also, it's important for us to be united. We may all be different styles, different demographics, but we have a common denominator, and that we are called to spread the gospel through music. And so I just want to encourage anybody that's out there to consider becoming a member of the GMA, because it's important for their voice to be heard. It's important for them to be plugged in to what our community, our creative community is doing. And it's important for us to know what they're doing so that we can be a united front.
Yeah, it's so true. Thank you for that advocacy and for everything you're doing for Christian songwriters and artists and producers and just creatives, that are gospel centric, in this whole thing, because we need it and we need what you do. Talk a little bit about the mission statement. I was trying to remember it. I was going over it before I came here today to talk with you, but you already referenced part of it in the sense that it honors the past and the legacy, but it's very present and honoring what is happening right now, but future as well. But it encompasses not the creatives, yes, but also the industry itself, and trying to forward sales and recognition and all of that kind of thing. So
yeah, our mission is to expose, promote, and celebrate the gospel through music.
there you go.
And we do that, as I said, through our events and advocacy. But shining a light on our industry and being the voice of our industry is really an important part of what we do.
And you do it very well.
Thank you, John.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think you've already said what, there's an importance in belonging. I think there's power in belonging.
It is. We are a body.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And so to be part of the Gospel Music Association is to help to, what did you say, promote and celebrate and whatever.
That's right.
Yeah. We get to join with you in that way by becoming GMA members. I am a GMA member and I recommend it for everybody listening, and to just kind of be part of a bigger voice.
Yeah, be plugged
for the
in.
gospel. Yeah, absolutely. Come to Immerse, come to the Doves. And then you also have part of a thrust for younger professionals in the music business next,
yes,
right?
We do.
What's that about?
Well, whereas Immerse really does a lot of focus on the creatives, next is about our young Christian executives. Mm-hmm. Because God is calling us to be salt and light in the world. And to be able to unite with other young executives, young and up-and-coming executives, and exchange stories and experiences, and to being able to call on one another and to know each other and to just share, network. It's really important.
So is it a program that somebody joins, or how does it work?
Next is for it. We can't go, John. It's for those that are under 30.
Come on, Jackie.
Yeah, I've had to tell the best of friends that they
I'm
cannot
looking pretty
attend
good.
next.
I'm
You do
looking
look
pretty
good,
good.
John, but you can't go. It's for those under 30, and it's typically a panel or a speaker and networking.
So I could come speak. I could come.
There you go.
I could come speak.
Yeah, there
I
you
could talk
go.
about surviving 30 plus years in the music business.
Something like
that. Yeah.
Typically, they're even younger than us that are speaking.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
I could talk about facial regimen and how to stave off the aging process.
There you go.
I could do that.
There you
I
go.
could do that.
There you go.
Looks are everything. So.
You edit that part out.
Edit that part out. So these are events that you have sometimes.
Yes, they're quarterly events.
Okay.
That take place here in Nashville. And then we also have our ministry to bandwives. Rather than calling them tour widows, we choose to call them bandwives.
Nice.
And so our bandwife brunch is brunch where we have a speaker, because there's scripture that talks about older women speaking into younger women, and so we kind of follow that premise. But there are a lot of families that come to Nashville to pursue the husband or wife's call to music, and they leave their support systems, and the wives are at home taking care of the home fires and the kids, while a hubby or spouse is out spreading the gospel.
Yeah, having fun, being on stage.
And so we realize that these women have a very unique needs. They're different than soccer moms in a lot of ways. And so we want to provide a gathering place for them. We want to share resources with them. We want them to know each other. We want them. We provide drop-off daycare so that they can drop the kids off and be with grown-ups. And then we have a speaker. We've had Michael W. Smith's wife and Stephen Curtis Chapman's wife and Bill Gaither's, Laura Gaither's come and spoken.
Nice.
And we just provide a time to break bread and have a latte
There you go.
and know your other partners in the struggle.
Yeah. Well, and that's very, very important. Well, thank you so much for giving us some insights today into the Gospel Music Association. We'll drop links into the show notes so people can check out the website and look at Immerse, look at the Doves coming up October 16, and maybe say a little prayer for Jackie.
Oh yeah,
we need prayer, baby. Everybody does, but yeah, I mean, seriously, I mean, we're almost to the 1st of September, and so you're 6 weeks-ish away, and it's a big deal. I thank you for taking a little bit of time with me to even do this show today.
Absolutely.
And we sure wish you the best, and here at the GMA.
Well, thanks for coming, John. It's good to be able to reminisce
about
the good old days, and still looking forward to all that God has for the future. It's awesome.
Absolutely, you too, and we know He does. He's given us a future
And a hope.
and a hope.
Thanks for listening in today on the Song Revolution podcast. If you're wanting to take your songwriting to the next level, be sure to jump over to NashvilleChristianSongwriters.com right now to check out all the valuable resources that we have there for you, especially NCS membership, where you can go deeper into a community of like-minded songwriters and tap into encouraging blogs, videos, powerful masterclasses, and a whole lot more to get you where you really want to go. I'll see you next time.